people in a fireproof building above the fire, what did they do? They left the safety, and I'm not saying everyone, but there were some, left the safety of their apartments and came down the stairs that are filled with smoke. And it takes 3 breaths of that smoke, 3 breaths, you fall to the ground and you don't get up. Okay, and that's what happened up there. They were safe in their apartments. They didn't realize it. And they panicked and came down. Some of the people, like, once again, not saying everyone, but that's a fact. They had 17 people die 10:30 in the morning. Unheard of. Fireproof building. Fireproof building, fire does not travel. Very, very difficult to travel in a fireproof building, almost impossible. They were in a fireproof building. In a fireproof building, if the fire is in your apartment, you do your absolute best to get out of your apartment. If the fire is above you, below you, next to you, you do not go anywhere. You stay in your apartment. You're going to be safe in your apartment. Okay? Fireproof building in general, 7 stories tall is going to be fireproof. Non-fireproof building. I'll finish up with this. Non-fireproof building, 6 stories, fire escapes, and that is a non-fireproof building, private dwelling. Non-fireproof, doesn't matter where the fire is, you have to get out. All right? Get your alarms, 877 Red Cross. The Red Cross will come to your house, see what you need, install any alarms that you need. 877 Red Cross. 733-2767. 877-733-2767. Great program. Make sure you have these alarms. Make sure you know what to do. Make sure you know what type of building you live in. Thank you very much. Yes.
All right. First of all, I want to thank the lieutenant for coming here and giving us this great information. Do you have a question, Lisa?
Yes. Okay. The Tundra, I believe it is.
Yeah.
They work. You know, I recommend the fire extinguisher, ABC, $30. It's going to last you 10 years. It's good for all fires, electrical, combustible, fueled fires.
Question, you have the carbon monoxide, and the fire, without and without.
Natural gas, I got a message from Con Ed. I live in Queens, College Point, and they said they were going to supply them. I haven't seen it yet. We do not. But it's money well spent if you need one, right? Especially a lot of people can't smell with the COVID. A lot of people lost that smell. They can't smell it. So spend the money. I think it's about $30, $40, but it's going to last you some time. So it's money well spent.
This is a very important subject. I'll take 2 more questions. Anyone else have any more questions?
Yeah.
Well,
Yes. Okay. There's so much to this, and I wish I had time to speak about everything. I will touch on batteries real quick, lithium batteries, because that is, no pun intended, the hot topic. We've had numerous fires. In fact, many of the last fatal fires were lithium batteries, mostly scooters. People are overcharging their batteries. They're using aftermarket batteries. All right. They're charging when they're sleeping. We don't charge anything when we're sleeping. Not your laptop, not your phone. Do cell phones go on fire? Very, very rarely, but they do. What if that cell phone goes on fire when you're sleeping? You're not going to see it melting. You're not going to smell it. Okay. So charge everything before you go to bed. E-bikes are changing all kinds of laws regarding them because it's such an issue. You know, people have them in the house where they put it, at the front door. And that's where the fire starts, and that's why they can't get out. And that's what makes it harder for us to get in, because we're met at the front door with the fire. So very, very dangerous lithium batteries. Look it up, read about it. You know, we could spend a lot of time. There's a lot of things. I wish I had enough time. I'm sorry, what kind of batteries?
My cell phone charger.
Yeah. It's an electronic. It's a battery. They can hold heat, and it can do that. Not common, but definitely a possibility. Any electronic, any battery. You know, you could have a 9-volt battery and throw it in the garbage. If it hits a bottle cap, that could cause enough spark to start a fire. It's that simple, right? It's that simple.
the last question we'll take is from
I
First
just
Street.
wanted to ask, the same thing about the lithium batteries. I was very concerned about that. What is the city doing to try to?
The latest is you're gonna be required to have a sign on your building that says no e-scooters allowed, which means absolutely nothing, because you think people are gonna follow those, you know, signs. Some do, not many. So that's something that may help, but it's not gonna hurt us, that's for sure. More has to be done. Landlords have to take responsibility for their buildings, and people have to take responsibility from themselves. When you do that, you're endangering your whole family and your neighbors. So people have to realize why we don't do that, you know? All right, you want to put your scooter in quarters, not a fan of that? but definitely do not charge that inside. And, you know, if you really want to take a chance, charge inside, do not charge it when you're sleeping, but they do not belong indoors whatsoever.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Wait a minute. Thank you for the information. I see why they picked you to do what you do.
Oh, yeah.
Very passionate about it. Very good. Thank you for being here, Lieutenant. Please, at this time, if your phone's not on silent, can you please put your phone on silent? Thank you. All right, the next person to speak is, well, he's a friend. Okay. As many of you know, I'm a retired law enforcement also, 22 years I did. But this inspector has taken the precinct to a new height. And we've had some great ones here from Michelle Irizarry to Commander Ortiz. Fantastic individuals. We've been very blessed with the commanders of the 115th. But this inspector has done a lot. From opening up prayer rooms to putting special details out there, listening to the community, helping people. He's been doing an outstanding job. And I can't commend him enough. But I'd like to bring him up at this time, Inspector Arthur Harry of the 115th Precinct. And he's probably on his day off, right? So, thank you.
Yeah, I'm actually off, but also my auxiliary team have a Christmas party, so me and Mike Manko, you see him there, dressed all nice. So, like I said, it doesn't matter if I'm wearing uniform or not. I'm a member of this community. And a lot of my officers, believe it or not, they spend more time here than their own homes in the communities they live in. And that's something I emphasize a lot with my officers, that be a part of this community. And I'm very blessed to be a part of this community. I'm very blessed to meet a lot of friends like Frank and many others here on this table, like our dear friend Arthur and many others that I got to know here. One of my first meetings was in this Jewish Center, and I'm very proud of the Jewish Center because this Jewish Center is open to everyone. I had LGBTQ meetings here. We had even interfaith meetings here and community board here. So I want to thank also our dear man there, you know, for allowing us to be here as well again, and to be here with you. If there's any, I'm a big fan of just really listening to the people because I don't really like to talk. I really like to listen. The more I listen, the better understanding I have of what you're dealing with. And sometimes I get calls for something very small, but it might be small to my perspective or the way I perceive it, but to you, it's something big. So I value it. So if anyone has any, you want to leave it like that, or
Oh, yeah,
Or just- because I know there's always some questions. Yeah, of course.
let's take 4 questions.
And I just want to update, I just want to thank every one of you. Last week, actually, the 115th precinct has had the highest crime reduction in the entire city. And that's for the 28-day period and week to date. And it has nothing to do with me. It's really every one of you. And the community board here, people like Miss Reed who call me, like literally, middle of the night. She gets complaints from everyone here, many others, and she'll forward it right to me. And she'll hold me accountable. So I want to thank you for, in behalf of the community.
Okay. Well, thank you. We'll take 4 questions, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So please, they need the microphone? Or just repeat the question. Yeah. Okay, can you please give me a I'm sorry? Yeah, thank you. Can you please make it a screen? Okay, please.
Yes, good evening. I just want to know, when is the precinct community meeting for the public?
It'll be the third Tuesday. Third Tuesday of the month. Mike, you have the exact day, the next one? So we usually have our community meetings the third Tuesday of every month. So the third Tuesday of every month, 6 p.m.
That's precinct, and the next meeting for everybody to know is December 20th at 6 p.m.
Mike, don't sit back down.
Okay.
So December 20th at 6 p.m. So the third Tuesday of every month, just
Well, you guys make a great team.
yeah, so like I said, we're in a party, so excuse us.
Sorry, I've heard from my neighbors over at Leverage Street, 69th Street, 35th Avenue, that kind of square block area of 3 muggings in like the past 2 months at gunpoint and knife point. I don't know if they're actually taking the trouble to actually report it to NYPD. So I'm wondering if you all have heard about a crime increase in that area, or if not, what can I do to make sure people are reporting to you? 69th Street and 35th Avenue, and the blocks on our precinct, like inland from that.
We actually took a few robberies there, yeah, but not in the recent 28-day period, but outside the period. About a month ago, there was actually an elderly woman who was robbed at that location, 69th Street and 35th Avenue. She was actually leaving her home and some person with a motor scooter took her purse. So we had a few incidents there. And I think the reason why a lot of criminals, they look for areas where there's less light, right? Desolate areas. So that's particularly why they would choose these familiar locations. But historically, we don't have a lot of robberies compared to other areas within the precinct. But we did do a lot of enforcement engagement there. Unfortunately, we did also, I don't know if you've read in the paper, we did have a person robbed a little further west on 80th Street. Elderly woman, she was in her driveway. A person goes down the stairs, pushes her, grabs her purse, runs away. Great work with my detectives. They actually, they did a great video canvas. We actually found him entering one of the subway stations here. At the time, he had his mask up, but thank God we found cameras. We were able to identify who he is. So hopefully, we look forward to apprehending him and putting him to justice. So, and I just want to say, and a lot of times I feel like we don't give a lot of credit to our detectives, and a lot of the amazing work that they do. A lot of times we're not aware of it, and in simple things like taking that little initiative of not just, okay, fine, we took a complaint, because we're not crime reporters, we're crime fighters, right? We want to prevent crime. So they went all out to actually find cameras, like literally like from one place, like literally following this guy through video. And you know how hard that is, right? To get people to get video and follow them through. So just want to thank them for that. And I want to show you that people here in the 115 precinct and the NYPD in general do really care about those cases, especially when it involves elderly.
I just had a question about the shooting in the bodega over the weekend on a known troublesome block. I assume it's the same issue we've always had with the gangs there. Any update on what we can do to stop that constant problem between 94th and 95th Street?
Hi, Nula. I know you as a former. It's great to have people like you in our neighborhood. And I just want to say, she mentioned there was a shooting, right, on 94th Street and 37th Avenue. I don't know if I think some news outlets probably mentioned or talked about it. So in this particular area, if you look at just throughout the month, even prior to the shooting, we confiscated many cars. We did a lot of operations there, but unfortunately, there is not only a gang or crew or nexus to this shooting. There's a drug nexus as well. There's a lot of drug activity within that block. I don't want to go in detail in regards to investigations, but we are there's our people that we are are targeting at this moment. But I just want to mention to you, I don't know if everyone is aware, the next day I put a shooting post basically 2 officers that stand there at the location, make sure people are safe, but make sure that people in the community feel safe, right? After shooting, people are afraid, they don't want to leave their homes, their businesses. So we had a shooting post there. So one of my officers, Patsolis, was a midnight patrol officer, was standing in his post where he was supposed to be, and actually witnessed someone very suspicious, acting very suspiciously, moving back and forth, looking around, looking suspicious. And then he does find on his waistband the butt of a gun right here, and actually goes and apprehends him. And what do? We recover a loaded firearm. This person in particular, who was actually a known criminal, was involved in multiple shootings in the Bronx, was actually arrested in the past for homicide and robbery and so much other things. So I just want to thank our officers for being vigilant. So we're going to do our best, and we're going to continue to address the narcotics nexus at that location. But if you do pass by 94th Street, 37th Avenue, you'll see a lot of officers there, and we get a lot of help from the borough. So we try to ask for more additional resources to address that issue. And since I've been here, majority of my problems, concerns really been to target gangs. We've been doing a great work with known other gangs. The Trinitarians last year, and if you remember, they were responsible for 10 people shot. We locked up a lot of individuals. Think with the great work of the detectives, the DA's office, some of them are doing federal time. So we haven't seen a lot of violence from that group. And then prior to this, during the summer, we had a known group known Serenos who were fighting with Latin Kings on Roosevelt Avenue. They were responsible for about 6 shootings in the 110 and 115 precinct. After that, we actually arrested everyone responsible for every single shooting. And we haven't seen since. So we're doing a lot of great work there, and a lot of the great work can't be accomplished without help from every one of you, because you're the ones that call us and care. I remember one time me and Mike was in a church and on 94th Street and 37th, where the laundromat is. We were in a church, and he recalls, guy comes up to us crying, and he says, you got to get these guys off of 94th, 37th Avenue. So I'm like, I already know who these kids are. We can move people, but we have to do it in a way that's legal, obviously, right? So, but he cried to me and said, I have a 15-year-old daughter who was walked by and they were talking to him very rude and nasty language. As a person, as a father, we took that personally. So we found ways legally to literally clear that block up. And from that day, he calls one of the community affairs officers. They thank you so much. It's the little things sometimes, unfortunately. So I want to thank every one of you. And even if it's something small, we could do it. But we're going to. And I don't want nobody to feel like somehow the cops we're hands are tied. We're not hands are not tied. We're going to do our best. And as long as I'm here, I'm going to find any way possible to apprehend those who are responsible for all this violence in the community and also affecting your quality of life. We're going to do it in a legal way, obviously, but we're not going to just, brush away your complaint. So I just want to thank you for that.
We got one more question. Oh, he just answered it? Okay, so we have one more slot for a question, by all means.
I don't need a microphone. Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much for being here, officer, because I've been asking so many times at the precinct why my car has been broken 3 times already in 72nd Street. So we're very afraid of 72nd Street, and that's a very heavy footstep traffic, and why this happens.
So a lot of things, first off, just to piggyback off of the fire department, it's prevention, right? How do we prevent stuff? By working together and talking with each other. You said your car got broken into 2 times, right? 3 times. Where is the car?
The front of the restaurant, the interior.
Okay. So generally, a lot of criminals like to go where it's dark. Is that a dark street generally? 72nd Street?
Oh, no, you're on 72nd Street?
It's in the restaurant.
On Roosevelt or 37th Avenue?
Okay.
Yeah.
That's right in front of the.
Under the train or by Broad? Oh, it's okay, I know that.
Third one is, the third one is near the wedding front, the electric car.
Okay.
Yeah, no, there's.
So generally, with that, number one, I'm very sorry. Is there a way to prevent that sometimes? Yes. I would always recommend to park your car in a well-lit area. Always make sure there's cameras. One thing I always like to tell people, lights, camera, action. It's like making a movie. You got to look at it that way. It's like making a movie. You want to prevent it? Let's throw some light on them. Let's throw a lot of visible cameras on them. All right. And we'll go from there. Sometimes these guys like to go after certain vehicles because they're very easy to get into. Like I'll say I had a Honda, 2003 Honda Civic. That's a very popular car. easy to take out pieces and sell them to junkyards and stuff like that. So are there other ways of preventing? Yes. We do have this thing called VIN etching. If they do steal your car, we can track it. We do, we have our crime prevention officer, Officer Larry Horn. You can make a date for him to come out. He'll go around your apartment. He'll go around your area. He'll check it out. He'll do what's called a survey for you. And he'll give out recommendations of what you can and can't do, what you can and shouldn't do. All right. So it's just one of those things where, like the inspector was saying, this is a team effort. We can only do so much to help you, but you got to be able to help yourself as well and just take the recommendations from us.
Let me just touch on that one thing, because she mentioned 72 in Broadway and Roosevelt. Actually, majority of the complaints I receive of cars being stolen is actually from that area. So between 6-9 to about 7-6, Roosevelt to 35th Avenue. For some reason, there's a lot of cars being stolen in that area. So I understand your frustration. And he did mention something about Hondas. For some reason, they're targeting Hondas. That could be a reason as well, because they're easy to be sold or resold or easy to get in or I get access to. I mean, to tell you that go park your car in only lit areas. Look, I live in this, I see sometimes it's impossible to find a spot. So I understand that. But if you want to talk to us about anything further later, please, I'll be here. Come to the precinct. Obviously, the one thing, majority of the cars being stolen in this precinct, also the city of New York, believe it or not, is because people still leave their keys in the car. Or for some reason, I have the same car as well. It's one of those starters, right? Even if you leave with the key, but the car can still run, they can still, some cars you can actually still hop on it and go, right? And so just be aware of that. If you do have a car that's keyless or whatever, make sure you shut it off, even if it's for 2 seconds. We had a guy, we had him on video surveillance. He was literally standing right by the store. The moment the guy, he just got out and he just jumped in, boom, out the car, literally just like that. Within seconds, forget about minutes. So there are people out there that just are waiting for you to do those kind of things. So thank you. Thank you for giving us this opportunity. Thank you, Community Board.
Listen, we thank you for being here, okay? Anytime, anywhere, we're always available, all right? All right, happy Christmas. Stay safe. Stay safe, you guys. All right, happy holidays. Thank you. All right, we're gonna move on our program now. We have something that's not on the agenda, but we saw the gentleman sitting here. So I'd like to introduce at this time, Mr. Kevin Morris from the mayor's office, from Mr. Eric Adams' office. He's here to join us.
Thank you, Mr. Taylor. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. My name is Kevin Morris. I am the Queensborough Director with the Mayor's Community Affairs Unit. I won't be very long tonight. I just come with a couple of very quick announcements. The first is that I'm sure that a lot of you have heard, we are expecting a nor'easter this weekend. So I encourage everyone to be safe this weekend. If you are yourself receiving or hearing complaints of issues because of the weather, please do not hesitate to reach out to myself or the community board and we will address any of those issues. The other thing that I would just like to share is recently the mayor announced that we will be having a new task force revolved around rat mitigation and addressing the homelessness issue on streets and in subway stations. For the rat mitigation, we are going to be working collaboratively with the Department of Buildings and Department of Sanitation to make sure that trash is being picked up effectively, to try and reduce some of the population of rats around street corners and in households and on subway stations. And for the homelessness initiative, we are trying to work with the city to address some of the increase in mental health illnesses and trying to help these people get into mental health facilities. So if you are hearing or seeing these issues as well, please do not hesitate to let us know. We want to make sure that we are approaching this in a very effective and humane manner. So that's all my time for tonight. On behalf of Mayor Adams, I would just like to say Happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, and Happy New Year. I don't need more.
Good. All right, Kevin, thank you for being here. Happy holidays. All right, stay safe, my brother. All right, that's going to end our public information part. We're going to have our public hearings. The first one I'll start off with, I am the temporary chairman of the Traffic and Transportation Committee. hence on temporary. So, with my job is that I'm very careful on what I do. I go out to the facilities, I go look at them personally, and I do it like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, different things of that nature. I don't suggest for anybody else to do that, but this is what I do. So we had up yesterday at our transportation committee meeting, started approximately 6:10, ended at 7:14. There were 10 members in attendance that were from the board. Mr. Gideon, you here? I don't know if you want to stand so everybody can see who you are. That would be great. Miss Pat Beckles, is she here? Okay. Miss Martha Lepitan. All right. Miss Megan Rockwell, I don't think she is in attendance. Okay. Mr. Chaudhry. Miss Ann Brown. There you go. Thank you. Miss Vivian Dock, our treasurer there. Miss Vivian Dock, man. Mr. Andre Malloy, I think he just stepped out. Okay. He was there. And Mr. Ed Kernan. I know Ed's there. Okay, Ed's there. Andre's at the back door. He was also there. And myself as the committee chair. We discussed the issues about the renewal for this TLC license. The place is named National High Class Car Service. They're located on 112-47 Roosevelt Avenue. And after a robust discussion, and I think it was swayed by, and I'm going to say it publicly, she doesn't like this, but I'm going to say it publicly. Miss Martha Leviton actually led this group. She's a former chair also. And she swayed some minds in there. And one of those minds that she swayed was mine. Because one thing that I've always done and will always do is fight for the little guy. Because I'm a little guy too. At the end, it was, we took the vote. It was 9-4 and 1 against. So we like this service. We want to approve this service with that vote, but we, have to bring it to the full board. The gentleman works there 12 hours and his daughter works there 12 hours. So I thought it was kind of intrusive for me to ask him to really be here at this time. So just like the other car service, this is a renewal. Are there any questions about it? Maybe I can shed some light on it. Yes, Ms. Reed.
May want to testify.
Okay. Is it, well, that's what I'm saying. Okay. Is there anyone that wants to testify on this car service? Anyone have anything they want to add or subtract from what was already said about this car service? Okay, let the record reflect, I have no one. Okay, so we'll take it up in executive committee. All right, now, I know when I took over as chair, a few people got upset at me, which is fine. But this is why I did what I did by putting those people on the executive board. I believe that all of us should be backed up, should have a co-chair. And this is one reason why. Mr. Rosenbaum hardly misses any meetings. Okay, but he's missing this one. He's under the weather, which is fine. We'll, say prayers for him. He's fine, right? Without a co-chair, who do you have to do the slide that has to be done for the community? And this is why I'm very proud to introduce at this time, Mr. Ed Wesley, who stepped into that slot and is doing a heck of a job. So at this time, I will give it over to the co-chair of Business Echo, my brother, Mr. Wesley. Thank you, sir.
When Frank called me, I was feeling deathly ill because Ed Rosenbaum wasn't going to be here. So let's start off with the first applicant tonight, It's the El Pilo Incorporated, DAB Amora, 8413 Northern Boulevard, Jackson Heights. Wants to change the method of operation. A couple of things in summary. We always like to see the applicant appear at our meetings, and they're mostly virtual. But this applicant did not appear at our October meeting. Applicant is seeking to add a licensed security to the application. His hours of operation are Monday to Thursday and Sunday. He's going to have one guard. And on Friday and Saturday, he'll have 3 guards, and that's from 11 p.m. to 4 a.m. So that's essentially what he's applying for, more security. Is the applicant in the audience? Are you the applicant? Come up.
Wasn't in the meeting on October 20.
That's correct.
He wasn't the virtual meeting.
Oh, well, we'll check that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
You're the attorney for the applicant.
the expedited for the applicant, yes.
Why don't you say a few words?
Sure. Good evening, everybody. Amaro is a restaurant bar that has been operating for 11 years in the community. We're just doing a change of method of operation, which is required by the State Liquor Authority, because at the time that they submitted their application 11 years ago, it wasn't required to put security on the application. Nowadays, they upgraded their application, and you have to disclose if you have security at your business, and we have to fill out that form and notify the State Liquor Authority, and that's why we're here.
I would ask anybody of the general public to ask a question at this point in time. Then we'll get to board members. We normally do that in executive session, but recently we've done it all together. So is there anybody that is not a board member from the public that would like to say something about this application? There being none, Renata has a question.
The owner. Yeah, the owner is right there. They come on back here.
Good evening. Any other questions? Okay, thank you. We'll take up the vote in executive session. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
The next applicant is La Hookah, 9321 37th Avenue, Jackson Heights. They're asking for a corporate change. Applicant is acquiring the remainder of the corporation and becoming 100% shareholder. So they're changing ownership. That's what they're doing. Anybody from representing this applicant? Come on up. Tell us about your business.
I'm just here to represent the La Hueca Inc. I'm here with Maximo, who's the owner. He's acquiring the full ownership of the business. And he's also gonna hire a manager who's gonna be right here. He has experience for about 2008, right? 2008 at the Tropical Restaurant. And it's pretty much what we're doing here. Just Mercy Pacheco has given up ownership of the business, and Maximo's taking over for 100%.
Have you been involved in this business? Okay, but the manager has been continuous since the other ownership. Okay. Any questions from the general public? Any questions from a board member? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. We only have 6 applicants tonight, folks. It's not going to take all night. This is the third applicant, Cafe 593 Corporation, 3764 103rd Street, Corona. They're asking for a wine, beer, and cider license. Applicant will be operating a cafe serving snacks, non-alcoholic and alcoholic beverages. Hours of operation are 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. daily. Anybody representing the applicant? Come forward, man. You need a translator? That's fine. Sure. Yeah. Since I don't know Spanish, you could be telling me anything. But a lot of people in this audience know Spanish, so be careful. All right? All right.
Okay, hi. My name is Marta Cobucle. You just offering you this coffee 593. I'm sorry, no speak English. So you do have me, you do friend, okay? Thank you so.
Hello, good evening. My name is.
So just show us, tell us something about the business. How long you've been doing it? That kind of.
Marta is my friend. She's my best friend. She's opening her first business, and it's a small cafe in Corona. Hours are from 8 to 11. She got a small menu. She's just starting fresh because there's no cafes in the area. She's gonna be doing like a little menu where like tamales, empanadas, green juices, muffins. It's just a little cafe for her, and her daughters are gonna be there with her. So I'm her friend.
How many people can you serve?
Less than 7 people. The always for less than 70 people. So it's more.
Okay, less than 70.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
For the record, when I was growing up, my grandmother lived at 3721 103rd Street. And being a big Irish family, we went there every Sunday and weekends for family dinner. I'm sure that's not just Irish people. It probably is every ethnic group in the room. So, thank you. The fourth applicant is Santoro NYC Corporation, 9113 31st Avenue, East Elmhurst. They're asking for a full liquor license. Some information. Premise will be a bar tavern. Hours of operation Sunday through Thursday is from 2 p.m. to 12 a.m. And then on Friday and Saturday, we had an agreement with the owner that he was going to close at 2 a.m., open at 11 and close at 2 a.m. That was negotiated during the committee. However, we received word today that he doesn't want to live by that committee commitment. He's going to close at 3:30 a.m. So bear that in mind. Security at all times, food service at all times. Alcohol service will end 1 hour prior to closing on a daily basis. No music in rear yard. Applicant has been requested to sign a stipulation stating the above conditions, which I've so told you. Is the applicant in the audience? Come up.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Gustavo Sabogal. This is the applicant for Satori NYC. I'd like to address the stipulations request. We understand the community's concern regarding the hours, and the applicant has taken the steps to address them. The premise is located at 91-13, and she has spoken to and received support from 91-13 directly above, 91-15, 17, and 19, which is the end of the block westbound, and also received support from 91-11 all the way through 91-01, which is the end of the eastbound block. She also received signatures from neighbors across the street and around the corner on 91st Street. I agree with the community that restaurants don't need to be open past 2 a.m., but we're transparent in saying that we're applying as a tavern, which we all know normally don't close until 4. Yet we're asking for 3:30 and agree to stop serving alcohol an hour before closing. Before you ask her to operate with limited hours for a year and reapply, please take this into consideration. In the past, the turnaround time for a liquor license was 1 to 2 months. Now they're taking 6 to 7 months. She would receive this license in August of 2023. Wait 1 year, reapply in August of 2024, add another 7 months to that, and she wouldn't be able to operate without restrictions until March of 2025. So in closing, should you approve this application, you'll be approving a minority female-owned business that will bring something new to the community in rotating craft beers and from local breweries, in which she hopes to become a local staple for the community. She has a plethora of experience as she's been working in restaurants her whole life. She has the support of neighbors, which was the biggest community's concern. We provided the petitions last week after addressing this concern, and she's agreeing to all other stipulations the community requested. Thank you.
Any questions from the general public? Anyone else from the general community? How about board members? Renetta?
This would be her first business operating. Oh, that would have to translate. But this would be her first business operating. But she has worked in several other places where they were serving full liquor. But this would be her first business. There are 3 restaurants within 500 feet that have full licenses that are open late. One of them is open past 2 a.m. I believe that's Valdez House Bar. La Nueva Colombia closes at 2 a.m. and the King of Taco House, I believe, closes before that. These are all restaurants, by the way, which 2 a.m. closing hours make perfect sense for restaurants. But again, this is a tavern. People don't go to taverns that close at 12. That would be detrimental for the business.
Yeah, I just want to make a correction here. So, Columbia is a very residential. You have exactly. Yeah, that lower Columbia that closes at midnight. Okay, there's one place that closes at 4. That is King of Tacos. Okay, this is your first, license. As a community, when we, take this in consideration, well, for me personally, that is a very residential area. So, we understand the need that you want to be profitable and things of that nature, but let's meet somewhere in the middle. Let's start up at 2 a.m. and work your way up to that extended hours, not to dictate to us what we should do. I just wanted to make that, clear. Work your way. It's a relationship.
This was brought up at the initial meeting, and after that was expressed to us, she went and got signatures and petitions from everybody on the block, across the street. So while yes, it is a residential area, the residents are on board for this. So we are taking them into consideration. At no time, I don't want it to be understood that we're dictating anything. We're asking, we're respectfully requesting from the community these hours. And I don't know what more we can do to help meet somewhere in the middle, but 2 a.m. closing and a 12 a.m. closing during the week is just not, a tavern can't operate that way.
At 31st Avenue, it's the only place that has bars or restaurants
It's a bunch of area. It's a very quiet street, and we've been depicting people along the area. Two AM later than we go. If you're on Roosevelt Avenue, 37th Avenue, or Golden Boulevard, Junction, I wouldn't mind it. But, not 24/7, not a residential quiet street. Thank you, Ron.
Thank you.
Want to respond?
Yeah, I mean, I'd just be reiterating while I understand it's a residential street, these same residents are the one that signed all these petitions, approving the hours.
And
Yeah, I have a question. Did you say the petition that was signed, they are residents there or they are owners of businesses here?
No, these are the residents.
Okay, so it wasn't owners of the business.
No. We have the residents' names,
And their
addresses, their signatures, and the date they signed. And this was provided last week.
they actually live like.
And they live right there. We have apartment numbers and everything. So if the concern is the residents in a residential area, again, the residents are on board.
anyone else? Okay, thank you very much. The next applicant is Don Alio Corporation, 8410 37th Avenue, Jackson Heights, requesting a wine, beer, and cider license. Again, this applicant did not show up for the October 2022 meeting. Applicant will be operating a restaurant. Hours of operation are 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. Occupancy is 40 people. They have approximately 11 tables, and they will have recorded music. Is the applicant here? Would you like to add anything to what I said?
No. Okay, good evening, President of the board members and public. We are a small restaurant. Our menu is 100% Peruvian food, and we are here because we apply for obtain the license for beer and wine as a complement of our food. If you have any questions, yes, we are here to answer.
No questions? Yeah. Yes. Yes. Oh, the October meeting, why didn't you come?
We attend the meeting virtually. Yeah.
No, that was the committee meeting. You talking about the board meeting. The board meeting we had after that, you guys did your meeting.
We have our appointment date for today. We never received before.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay. Thank you very much. The final applicant is Solido Lindo Cabanma, 8811 Roosevelt Avenue, Jackson Heights, looking for a full liquor license. Again, the applicant did not appear at the September 2022 committee meeting. Applicant wants to operate a bar tavern with a full menu rather than a restaurant. Applicant bought premises on October 1st. Hours of operation, Monday through Thursday are 12 p.m. to 1 a.m. Friday and Saturday, 12 p.m. to 3 a.m. and Sunday, 11 a.m. to 1 a.m. There will be a security guard, one guard, on Wednesday from 6 until 1 a.m. On Thursday, 2 guards from 6 to 1 a.m. And on Friday and Saturday, 3 guards from 8 p.m. to 3 a.m. Sunday, there will be 2 guards from 12 p.m. to 1 a.m. Occupancy is 60 people. Kitchen will be open at all times. Alcohol service will end 1 hour prior to closing. Applicant has been requested to sign a stipulation stating the above conditions. The applicant here? Let the record show that the applicant is not here. Are there any questions of me about what I've read? Okay, we'll be back to take a vote on this in executive session. Thank you very much.
You just asked for them. Okay. All right, so the last applicant's not here. All right, we're gonna start our executive session. Executive session is not the public to vote or really public participation. You can stay, which is always great to have our neighbors here with us. So if I can have everyone's attention, and if you could turn your head to the flag, our American flag in the corner. And since they took a break on me, here, you could do the
Oh, no,
come on,
not
come on.
again.
Serious, yeah, y'all took your break, yeah.
I wasn't taking a break.
I'm gonna take-
All right, everyone. Swear. All right, are we ready? On a 3, 1, 2, 3. I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Play ball.
That was my Christmas treat, everybody. Okay. All right, we're gonna have a vote now, to adopt the agenda. We could do it. You know what, let's do this first. Let's do the attendance. Let's make sure we have our attendance and we have quorum. Here, Richard.
All right. Okay, attention board members, we're gonna take attendance at this time. All right. Pat Beckles. Ann Brown. Alba Buendia. Mark Burmester. Mr. Chowdhury. Okay. Michael Cornelius is absent. Sheethoff is absent. Sonia David Roberts. Michael DeVera is absent. Vivian Dock, she's here. Margaret Dozier, she's here. Rhoda Dunn is absent. Renetta English. Oscar Escobar. Mr. Gideon. Pastor Peter Haran. Mr. Hollader. Kevin Usnaroy, he's here. Eric Kiernan. Steve Kohanik. Martha Leberton. Andre Beloy, he's here. Lisa Masulam, he's here. Richard Mullins, I'm here. Laverne Nimitz, she's here. Nuala Doherty. Teresa Parson Jones. Patrick Kumas, Kenanor. Yeah. Jairo Rodriguez. Mr. Romero. Lobster Salaka. Frank Taylor is here. Arthur Tyler. Chanel Thomas Henrys. And Ed Wesley. Was there anyone, any board member that I did not call their name? Emily Wallace. Okay, you're here. All right.
All right, we have quorum at this time. I want to commend Community Board 3, even though everything that's going on, this illnesses and everything else, we are still showing out at these meetings. Last month, we had 43 out of 49. I'm very proud of that, the guys are actually coming out and doing this thing as we should. So I give you guys kudos for that. I give you a great big hand for that. Okay, we're gonna start with the first vote, which is the transportation. I did that in the beginning, adoption in the beginning. That was the first thing I did. Yeah, okay. All right, okay, adoption of the agenda. Can I have a motion to adopt the agenda? Can I get a second? All right, can we do it by a show of hands? How many in favor? Okay, looks like everyone. Anyone against, anyone a nay? Let the record reflect there's no nays, it's certified. Okay, Ms. Reed? Okay, all right, now we'll move on to the transportation part of it. The motion that I don't think is there any discussion actually on this national high-class car? It's a cab service. That's exactly what it is. It's a cab service. Is there any discussion on it? Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. No, I took that upon myself because they're little guys. The father works 12 hours and the daughter works 12 hours. They don't have people like that for that. And they're actually running the service. Like I said, I was there 3 times. So I did that. That's not on them, that's on me. Anybody else? All right, at this time, I'll entertain a motion to approve the renewal of the TLC license of National High Class Car Service located at 112-47 Roosevelt Avenue. Do I have a second? All right, here you go, Mr. Secretary.
Okay, board members, is a motion to approve the TLC application. So a yes vote is a yes for approval. Pat Beckles. Ann Brown. Abba Badia. Mark Burmester. Mr. Chaudhry. Sonny David Roberts. Yes, yes, he did. Vivian Doc. Margaret Dozier. Renata English. Oscar Escobar. Mr. Gideon. Pastor Peter Haran. Mr. Hollader. Kevin Hughes Naboa. Said it emphatically. Ed Kiernan. Steve Kohanik. Martha Leberton. Andre Malloy. Lisa Masulam. Richard Mullins, I'm a yes. Laverne Nimitz. Nulo Doherty. Teresa Parson Jones. Paul Chikalis Cananor. Is that a yes? Yes? Okay. Hi, Rodriguez. Mr. Romero. Lobster Salaka. Yes. Frank Taylor. Arthur Tyler. Chanel Thomas Henry. Hamlet Wallace. And Ed Wesley. Okay. With 29 yays and 0 no's, the motion for approval carries.
Did anyone not vote that's on the board? All right, so we'll move on from that. All right, so right now I'll give the floor back to our chair here.
Whatever his name is. Actually, Frank, if you wanted perfect attendance, you should have picked up the tab last night. That would have worked.
Hey, wait a minute, you stay right here. Listen, not to beat anybody up or anything else like that, but 4 people didn't pay last night. And that was picked up by your district manager and your chair because our reputation means everything to us. So I know it was a mistake. I know people were inebriated. I know the dog died. I understand all that. But if you could remit that payment to the office, that would really be nice. Thank you for that opening.
Okay. Okay, now back to business. Our first applicant, which you've heard from, Il Tilo Incorporated, 8413 Northern Boulevard, Jackson Heights. Is there any discussion? Okay, we can call the question and go to the vote. Oh, wait a minute. Let me give the committee's recommendation. The committee recommends approval of the application for a method of operation. Change to add license security for an existing on-premise full liquor license for this applicant. I need a second. Now we can call the question.
Okay, this motion is for an approval of an application, given the stipulation. Okay, Pat Beckles? Pat Beckles?
Renee English? Oscar Escobar?
Yes.
Mr. Gideon? Yes. Pastor Peter Ron? Yes. Mr. Hollander?
Yes.
Kevin Hughes LeBoy?
Yes.
Ed Kiernan?
Yes.
David Hyde?
Yes.
Martha Levitine?
Yes.
Patrick Malloy? Yeah. Lisa Masulo?
Yeah.
Mullins, I'm a yes. Laverne Nibbitz?
Yeah.
Nuala Darty?
Yeah.
Teresa Foster Jones?
Yes.
Portugalis Kevin North?
Yeah.
Ira Rodriguez? Mr. Romero?
Yeah.
Lasa Salata?
Yes.
Frank Taylor?
Yes.
Martin Tyler? Janelle Thomas Henry?
Yeah.
And Ed Wesley?
Yes.
Is anyone named? Okay. Yes, sorry, Hamlet? Yeah. We're yes? Or no? Okay. Okay. Okay, with 32 yeas and 0 no's, the motion carries.
Thank you. Next applicant is Zoherka, 9321 37th Avenue, Jackson Heights. Corporate name change, different ownership. Any discussion? I make a motion that the committee recommends approval of the application for a corporate change for an existing on-premise full liquor license for this applicant. Need a second? Thank you. Call the question.
Okay, this motion is for approval of the application. Pat Beckles,
Yes.
Ann Brown,
Yes.
Alvin Padilla,
Yes.
Mark Burmester,
Yes.
Mr. Chaudhry,
Yes.
Sonia Roberts, Vivian Doc,
Yes.
Margaret Dozier,
Yes.
Renata English, Renata English,
Yes.
Oscar Escobar.
Yes.
Mr. Gideon.
Yeah.
Trustee Ron.
Yes.
Mr. Holliday.
Yes.
Kevin Hughes LeBeau.
Yes.
Ed Kiernan.
Yes.
Stephen Kleinick.
Yes.
Martha Leviton.
Yes.
Audrey Malloy.
Yeah.
Lisa
Yeah.
Masulo. Richard Mullins, yes. Laverne Nimitz.
Yes.
Lulu Doherty. Teresa Parson Jones.
Yeah.
Portia Carol Escanor.
Yes.
Ira Rodriguez.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mr. Romero, yes. Lobson.
Yes.
Okay. Frank Taylor.
Yes.
Arthur Tyler.
Yeah.
Janelle Thomas Henry.
Yes.
And Hammond Wallace.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
And Ed Wesley. Yes. Okay. With 32 yeas and zero no's, motion for approval carries.
Okay, we move to the third applicant, Cafe 593 Corp. They're seeking a wine, beer, and cider license. Is there any discussion? Okay, the committee recommends approval of the application for an on-premise wine, beer, and cider license for this applicant. Thank you. We can call the question.
Okay, this motion is for approval, application. Cafe 593. Okay, so a yes vote is a yes for approval. Pat Beckles.
Yes.
Ann Brown.
Yes.
Alvin Padilla. Mark Burmester.
Yes.
Mr. Chaudhry.
No.
Sonia Roberts.
Yeah.
Vivian Doc.
Yeah.
Margaret Dozier.
Yeah.
Renata English. Oscar Escobar.
Yes.
Mr. Gideon.
Yes.
Trustee Ron. Mr. Holliday. Kevin Hughes LeBeau.
Yes.
Edward Kiernan.
Yes.
Stephen Kleinick. Yes. Martha Leviton.
No.
Audrey Malloy.
Yeah.
Lisa Masulo.
Yeah.
Richard Mullins, yes. Laverne Nimitz.
Yes.
Lulu Doherty.
Yes.
Teresa Parson Jones.
Yes.
Portia Carol Escanor.
No.
High Road.
Well, I don't know what.
This is Cafe 593. Cafe 593. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Yes.
All right. Lobster salad.
Yes.
Okay, Frank Taylor.
Yes.
Arthur Tyler.
Yeah.
Thomas Henry.
Yeah.
Pamela Wallace. And Ed Wesley. Yes. Is anyone here that called? Mr. Romero? Are you? Yes, okay. Switched you up ahead. Okay, let's not open you next. All right, with 28 yeas and 4 noes, motion for approval carries.
Okay, now we come to a complicated application. The committee was making a recommendation based on them closing at 2 a.m. That was the deal. However, in the interest of time, there was a full discussion tonight. And I think the full board should vote up or down on this application. Any discussion of that? And yeah. What do you mean it wasn't signed? I can't change our recommendation, you know, without calling the full board back or the subcommittee back. That's correct. Right. No, we're in an executive session.
Right, and I got your point. We're not gonna change the recommendation, but the recommendation was based on that they signed the stipulation. The stipulation was not signed. So now you vote your conscience. Okay, this is what we're doing now. We're voting on a yay or a nay for a license, right? Correct. For a license for this next Centura New York Corp. Who did not sign the stipulation that they had agreed to it first. Then they said, no, they're not gonna sign it. That's a yes or no on their license.
Yes would mean approve their license, no would mean we don't.
Right. Okay. All right. Everybody straight with that? You want to take that?
Yeah. What's the stipulation? A yes vote, we approve the license. A no vote, we disapprove the license. Simple yes or no.
Okay, but this is what we're talking about. The recommendation of the committee doesn't count as this. Because it was approved per stipulation being signed. Stipulation was not signed. So that comes out of the committee. We're not gonna push this back to next month, next year, whatever. We'll do that. So let's take care of this now.
Giovanna? I thought we made that clear. That the resolution is, if you say yes, you approve the application. If you say no, you disapprove the application. The motion on the floor is, if you say yes, you approve the license. If you say no, you disapprove.
So you want to make a motion, or you want me to make a motion?
I'll make the motion. Yeah. Hold on. One at a time. Recommendation of the committee, in my opinion, is not viable at this point in time. That's why I'm making it the board's decision for, do we grant them a license or we do not grant them a license? No, it's not personal. I'll read the motion to you that the committee made, and you interpret it the way you want to interpret it. If it's different than what I just said, please tell me. Okay? All right. The committee recommends approval of an application for an on-premise full liquor license for this applicant, provided that stipulation has been signed stating that the hours of operation will be Sunday to Thursday from 2 p.m. to midnight, and Friday, Saturday from 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. Alcohol service will end 1 hour prior to the closing on Friday and Saturday. Full kitchen will be open at all times. Seasonal use of the rear yard with no music present, and DJ and karaoke permitted within the establishment. That's what we were going to permit. I think that's what we've been saying. Okay, we're putting a new motion on to say whether or not, if we believe you're supposed to get the approval, that you vote yes. You can make the motion. Let's get this question. You want to make the motion? Okay, go ahead. As is? No, that's impossible. Okay. Yes, Marta. I'll leave it up to Renetta because that was my understanding a long time ago, but I think Renetta changed that when she became president.
This is not valid. Our committee did not sign the situation. We have to vote. Can I make a motion?
Hold on. Mark, do you want to say something?
I would.
Okay, Renetta. Any discussion, Mark?
I make a motion that we disapprove the recommendation of a license for Satori New York City Corp. based upon my justification, based upon the fact they did not sign the STIP.
Okay, the motion's been made. Seconded. Any questions? Any discussion? Nuala?
Want them to close at 2. And they're like, we want to close at 3.
3:30.
Go call the neighbors will find them.
Okay, no.
You restated what the applicant said, yes. Okay. Mark, do you want to add something?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, you know, with the business new business trying to open, right, supporting the little guy, I'm with you. I think that this is part of that. You know, the applicant has done nothing wrong. They've not had any violations that I've heard of to warrant, you know, us making their business more difficult to run. In fact, they're doing everything right to get, in fact, they're doing everything right to get signatures from their neighbors. So, you know, I really think that we should be approving this license with a perhaps with a different stipulation that they're open until 3:30 and last call now before is.
Okay, thank you, Paul. Okay, now motion. The motion, to paraphrase for all, is to disapprove the application to open these premises because they did not sign the agreement that was made in subdivision.
Mind you, we have a motion on the floor. And it's addressed for hold. Second. He's trying to call hold. Yeah. Okay. But
It's not about. I mean, I'm not for or against either one. I'm more traveling this and digesting like everybody else. But being on the board for a while, it's really not about a business going to 5 out of 10 neighbors and getting okay. It's about the history of that area. It's a very residential area. We've had a history of bad businesses. And this is not the only business that we've asked to go slow. Because we have a history of a lot of complaints. So if we get residents today, and sign the petition, and 3 move out, 3 new ones move in by next month or next year, they may not be in the pool of that. So we cannot go by that. We ask that each business act in good faith, not just towards neighbors, but towards the entire community.
Thank you. I call the question.
Vote your conscience, okay? This is what.
All right. Okay. This motion is for disapproval
I remember
of this application because of an unsigned stipulation. So a yes vote is a yes for a disapproval. A no vote is a no for disapproval. Okay. So yes, the yes for okay, Pat Beckers.
Yes.
Ann Brown.
Yeah.
Alba Buendia. Mark Burmester. Yeah. Mr. Chaudhry. Yeah. Sonny David Roberts.
Yeah.
Vivian Dock. Margaret Dozier.
Yes.
Renetta English.
Yes.
Oscar Escobar.
No.
Mr. Gideon.
Yes.
Pastor Pierre Haran.
Yes.
Mr. Hollander.
Yes.
Kevin Hughes Bebois.
Abstain.
Edward Kiernan.
No.
Stephen Kohanic.
Yes. Martha Levittown,
Abstain.
Andre Malloy. Here. Lisa Masulo,
Abstain.
Mr. Barley, yes. Laverne Nimitz.
No.
Milo Doherty,
No.
Teresa Parson Jones.
Yes.
Patrick Gunners, Ken North,
Yes.
Ira Rodriguez,
Abstain.
Mr. Romero. Lobster Salaka. Yes. Frank Taylor.
Yes.
Arthur Tyler.
Yes.
Janelle Thomas Henry. Hamlet Wallace. And Ed Wesley.
Yes.
Okay. For the board members that abstain, would you like to adjust your abstention at this time? Sorry, Mr. Romero.
Yes, I believe the case like this. Other round of negotiation with the applicant, we have help. Instead of just select and they have to do it. The other one, this is like 2,000 witnesses with the applicant, who have seen no bank creation for those. So that's tangent.
Although that's, it's the conflict of interest, I am a resident on 31st Avenue, but also, I believe that this should be put to the next month's meeting for the, business owner to get their affairs in order.
Okay.
Any other person that voted to abstain wanted to talk?
I
Lisa?
I agree. I just want to say I agree with that, and maybe other people do too. I don't know. Can't speak for them. That it was, I've never, in my 29 years, I have hardly ever abstained, and this is like one of the first times, because it's not. You know. I think
Okay.
it's a good thing.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Chanel, my apologies to applicant and the board, I was late, so it seemed like the only reason there was a conflict was because of hours. And then I called the tail end of it sounded like they were trying to be the neighbors. So I just thought I didn't have another opportunity.
Okay, I'm calling each abstention, Ira Rodriguez. Right, I think, Martha Leverson, would you like to say?
No, no, thank you.
Okay. So, let the record reflect, with 20 yeas, 5 noes, and 7 abstentions, the motion for disapproval carries.
Okay, now we move to the fifth applicant. Don Alico Corporation, 8410 37th Avenue, Jackson Heights, a wine, beer, and cider license. The committee recommends approval of the application for an on-premise wine, beer, and cider license for this applicant. Do you have a second? Thank you. Any discussion? Okay, call the question.
Okay. This is for the application, Don Alico Corp. The committee recommends approval for the application, so a yes vote is a yes for approval. Pat Beckles.
Yes.
Ann Brown.
Yes.
Alba Buendia.
Yes.
Mark Burmester.
Yes.
Mr. Chaudhry. No. Sonia David Roberts.
Yeah.
Vivian Doc,
Yes.
Margaret Dozier,
Yes.
Renetta English,
Yes.
Oscar Escobar.
Yes.
Mr. Gideon. Pastor Huron. Mr. Hollander. Kevin using the board. Okay, Ed Kiernan.
Yes.
Steve Connick. Yes. Martha Levittown.
No.
Andre Malloy.
Yes.
Lisa Masulo.
Yeah.
Jamal is a yes. Laverne Nimitz.
Yeah.
Mulo Doherty.
Yes.
Teresa Parson Jones.
Yes.
Kevin.
Yes.
Yes.
Please silence your cell phones, please, everyone, if you haven't already.
Coaching Cremas, Scananor.
No.
Okay, Jairo Rodriguez.
Yes.
Mr. Romero. Yes, okay. Lobson Salaka. Yes. Okay, Frank Taylor. Yes. Arthur Tyler.
Yeah.
Janelle Thomas Henry.
Yeah.
Okay, Amber Wallace. And Ed Wesley. Yes. Okay. Okay, with 28 yeas and 4 noes, the motion for approval carries.
Thank you, folks. That's the last applicant we're going to hear from tonight. We received an email from the final applicant that I did talk to in my subcommittee report that they would not show up and want to pass it, table it until the next meeting.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Wesley. Appreciate that all being done. Listen, I'm gonna cut some time out of this because I don't like long meetings. So I basically gave you my chairman's report from the beginning of the meeting. We do a lot of events. And first of all, listen, decorum. This is the first thing I talked about today. All right. Another thing with these committees that these guys sit on, they're committee meetings. They're open to everyone, even if you're not on the committee. That's the time to hash this out, not at a board meeting. Okay, if other people can take time to sit at a committee meeting, respect their time, respect their opinion. Okay, believe me, they go through it. They go through it. All right, but like I said, I'm gonna cut my time because we had a great time at the get together at Eloise, the Christmas party. 44 people showed up, which was fantastic. It was a wonderful time, but there were a couple of people that were I guess a little under the weather or busy, but we believe your executive board, Giovanna, Laverne, Kevin, we believe in giving flowers while people are still alive. On this board, we'll do that from now on. Okay, so we handed out plaques to people that served this board for over 20 years. I give you guys kudos. Ms. Vivian Doc, that's our longest serving member, 38 years. Okay, my son is 26. So I'm like, thank you for all that you've done and all that you do. But we have people that weren't there, so we want to give them to them. Do you want to? You want me to do it or you want to do it? You can do it, please. It's up to you. And please come up, take a picture while we do this real quick. Who's the first one you got?
I put it there for you.
Oh, where's the plug? Oh, okay. Well, this guy I thought was going to go last, but he never goes last. No, you're fine. You're fine. Stop. This guy here is selfless. This guy here cares more about other people than he does actually about himself. I am happy that he is a board member. I'm happy that I was able to meet him and breakfast sometimes, lunch sometimes. One of my East Elmhurst guys, Mr. Hamlet Wallace. 29 years of service to Community Board 3. And we just want to say thank you. He's also the chair of something or other. Landmarks. No, I know what it is. Come on. And much respect to you, my brother. Thank you.
Congratulations, congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you. You want to say anything? You got your bag? Who's next? Okay.
The citizens of Queens Community Board 3, congratulations on your 29 years of excellence, 1993 to 2022. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Hamlet.
Next one is Stephen. The next one is Stephen.
I don't want to. Doesn't matter. I just don't want to dominate.
Nominated.
Do a lot. All right, this next one is going to go to a gentleman in recognition of dedication of outstanding service to the citizens of Queens, Community Board 3. Congratulations on your 26 years of excellence. This man was a former chair, and I could even put him down as one of my mentors. When I came on this board in 2017, it was a little rough around here. And this guy here helped smooth a lot of stuff out for me. And I'll always remember that, and I'll always be grateful for that. Mr. Steve Cohan, please. You get a plaque, man. You get a bag and a plaque and everything. No. Thank you, everyone. All right, and last but not least, in recognition of his dedication and outstanding service to the citizens of Queens, Community Board 3, congratulations on your 21 years of excellence, 2001 to 2022. I don't know why he's not up here already, because he knows who he is. Where's Arthur? Mr. Tyler.
Huh? No, I like serving on this community board, that it's the organization that watches all the aspects. We try to make it a better place to live. We're trying to make it a better place to work. We're trying to make it a better place to have a business. And everything else is biased. We have the building owners that are looking one way, and the others, and this is the place to be and the place to serve.
Finish?
All right.
All right, thank you, Arthur. I want to tell you a little story about Arthur. We opened up a prayer room at 115th precinct. And Arthur didn't get upset. He came to me, we met each other in the bank, actually. And he said, can we participate in that? Because he's also the head of the Jewish synagogue. Can we put stuff in there? And I'm like, of course you can. And this is what should be typical of a Queens resident. Community Board 3. We don't get mad about stuff. We fix it and move on with it.
Let me answer you that's very good. That every Jewish home and every Jewish room has what we call a mezuzah on the doorpost. And that's I know I don't speak Hebrew much, but that's one that we had to memorize. So I have to think of it. I'm going to say it and translate it because that's the only way I can do it. So and you should love your neighbor. All right, and God has commanded you to love your neighbor as yourself. All over shore, with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your might. And these words, as I command you, and it goes on and on. And this is what every Jew passes every time he goes into any of his living rooms or his bedrooms. And I guess you've seen that. And I'm saying, all right, they're going to have a prayer room. Let's put a mezuzah up. And I bought a mezuzah for it, and I discussed it with Frank. And what's Altari's lieutenant? Inspector Altari. All right. I'd be glad to talk to him. He's a very understanding guy. He came in, he hugged me, he hugged others, and I think it would be appropriate. And so I asked Frank if he would like to participate, and if the community board would like to participate in coming and mounting a mezuzah on their prayer room. And while we're at it, I know Christmas is coming and Hanukkah is coming, and there are there's a Jewish center and they do a nice job, and I'm in Tiferet Israel on 88th Street, and kind of proud of that. And there's a third organization called the Chabad of Jackson Heights, and they're going to have a public tree lighting, menorah lighting. I feel like that. I'm so tongue-tied. Sunday night at 4 o'clock at Travis Park. That's on 34th Avenue, and everybody's welcome. And this is Rabbi Pate, and he's a young guy, and he'll bring dreidels and refreshments and probably other things. So I'm mentioning it, I'm speaking for him, even though he didn't ask for that. You good? You pulled it back 3 times already. All right. Good? Okay.
All right, as long as you're good, man.
Oh, I get a plaque.
Okay. Okay, Laverne.
Okay, I'm going to announce a few of our members that are not here that received plaques, and the members that received plaques the other evening that we had our holiday celebration. Shiv Das received a plaque for 21 years. He came on 2001 to 2022. Shiv Das. Jimmy Smith, 32 years of service, 1999 to 2022. And these plaques will be delivered to their homes, and we will take pictures as well at the same time. Joyce Julian, congratulations on 23 years of excellence, 1999 to 2022. Of course, our very own Vivian Dock.
1984 to 2022, 38 years. We love you, Vivian, and we thank you. We thank you for being here. Lisa R. Masulim, congratulations on your 29 years, 1993 to 2022. Margaret Dozier, congratulations on your 20 years, 2002 to 2022. Leoncio Romero, congratulations on your 22 years, 2000 to 2022. I should ask you all to stand so that they can really recognize you, but we're moving along so quickly. And David Rosario, congratulations to David for 26 years of excellence, 1996 to 2022. And of course, our very own Giovanna A. Reed, who started from just the beginning, right? Yes. And congratulations for your outstanding service to us, to your board members, as well as to the community. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, and that concludes yes. Thank you. It was myself, Frank, our wonderful secretary, and of course, our leader, and Kevin. I'm sorry, Richard. Thank you, Richard. And of course, our fearless leader.
We just started a year ago.
Yeah.
I'm just going to just take this opportunity to thank all the members of the board for all the hard work that you do, setting the example for other communities on how to work, live together because of our diversity. We should be very proud of our community and what we do. Many countries don't do what we have succeeded in doing, and they should operate by our example. At least that's what I feel. So I just want again to also acknowledge all the recipients that received plaques yesterday and today, well deserving. As you could see, gentlemen like Hamlet Wallace and Steve Kohanic, very hardworking, but had very little to say, isn't it? You can see, yeah, they express their skill, their humanity through their work, not standing up and giving speeches and all of that. And I think that's the most important thing. As I always say, I'm very proud to be the district manager of Queens Community Board 3. It is the best board, my opinion, in the city of New York. I also want to take this opportunity to wish everyone a happy holidays. Please enjoy, take care of each other, spend time with your families and friends. It's very, very important that you do that. And also, I also ask that you have a wonderful New Year. And while we'll take a brief break and we'll meet again in January, just know the work is waiting for us still. This is a very, very busy community. And again, I thank you for the opportunity to work. Yes. I haven't stopped yet. Also, one more thing I'd like to say. The community board couldn't function, as I said, without our esteemed members, but also our volunteers. As I mentioned at our other event, Catherine Chang came to our community board the day that she retired from the Board of Education. And she has been volunteering ever since. That was 15 years ago. Come on, please stand up so people know who you are. Yeah. All right. And then we have a gentleman who came in as a volunteer and has been supportive of this board and ultimately became a member of this board after serving as a volunteer for at least 6 years. And we would not be able to do anything without his help. And that we call him Mr. G, but he is actually, his real name is Mr. Andre Gideon, Ulrich Andre Gideon, Mr. G. He keeps us, he really supports this board, supports this office, supports the community. He also serves on the precinct council and many other things that that don't come to mind at the moment. But Mr. G, we appreciate you, everything that you do. So I couldn't leave out of here without saying again, thank you to Mr. G. And with that, I'm going to conclude my report. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, we're gonna continue on. I see everybody getting restless here. Let's go to adopting, I'll make a motion to adopt the November 17th minutes. Can I get a second? All right, can I get a show of hands? All those in favor? All right, anyone against, any nays? Let the record show unanimous, let the record show it pass unanimous. Okay, all right. Okay, all right. All right, we're gonna have our committee reports. Please, the committees that are coming up, notice it's 9:30, so please be conscious of the time. Renetta is youth and Lisa. There you go.
All right, Lisa. Good evening, everyone. I'd like to say that Lisa and I are happy to report that our 2022 committee gift giving campaign has been overwhelmingly successful. As of today, we've collected over 600 items. As you know, we started November 28th and now it's December 15th. So I'd like to thank all of our committee members, which is listed in our report, all of our partners for doing such a wonderful job to ensure that those residents in need will be well supported. So Lisa and I are coming to you today to ask if you are available tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. We will be distributing the items at the facility. So you can come to either one of us to get the address. So again, thank you, thank you, thank you for everyone's generosity, not only partners, our board members, the residents of East Elmhurst, Jackson Heights, and North Corona. Thank you again.
Okay, so let's say, wait. So let's just say you only have like a half an hour or an hour tomorrow and you're really strong. That would really be very much appreciated because there's a lot of heavy stuff too to carry from our cars inside. So even if you only have a few minutes to spare at 11:30, and you have to like run off, that would be appreciated. So don't just think, oh, I can only stay for it. That's fine. That would even be helpful. But of course, the longer the better. Thank you.
The longer the better. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. Great job, guys. Ms. Vivian Dock and Mr. Edward Kernan, if you could please take the podium. Stand next to each other. Here you are. Nomination committee. Remember the time.
Good evening, everyone. The nominating committee met Wednesday, December 7th, 2022, to decide on a slate of candidates for office to be announced at tonight's meeting and voted on by the board at its January 19th, 2023 meeting. First, as committee chair, co-chair. I would like to thank and acknowledge members of the committee. Co-chair Edward Kiernan. Just raise your hand when I call your name, please. Members Pat Beckles. Okay, thank you. Ann Brown. Lakeith Chowdhury. Sonia Davis Roberts. Margaret Dozier. And Stephen Kohanek. Thank you. The offices of the board shall be chairperson, first vice chair, second vice chair, secretary, treasurer, and 4 members at large. Officers are elected for 1-year term. No office elected may serve more than 3 consecutive terms in the same office and shall not be eligible for re-election to the same office for a period of 2 years. The committee would like to acknowledge and thank the following for having served 3 consecutive years in the same office this year. Treasurer Leoncio Romero. Members at large, Jairo Rodriguez. Jairo. Okay. Lapsang Salaka. In the process of nominating, the committee takes into consideration members' attendance at board and committee meetings, representation from the entire district, diversity of the board, and terms served. The committee decided on the following slate of candidates for office to be voted on by the board at its monthly meeting, January 19, 2023. Chairperson, Frank Taylor. First Vice Chair, Dr. Laverne Nimmons. Second Vice Chair, Kevin Hughes Noble. Secretary, Richard Mullins. Treasurer, Jairo Rodriguez. Members at large, Ulrich Gideon. Tammy Rose. Bahad Salama. And Teresa Parson Jones. All candidates were contacted by committee and have accepted their nominations for office. Any board member not on the slate can be nominated for any office from the floor by another board member and second by another board member at the January 19, 2023 board meeting. Candidate nominee must accept the nomination. That concludes my report. Thank you. Happy holiday, everyone.
Thank you. And thank you, Mr. Kernan. All right, we'll move on here. Who else is up next? Let's go. I don't have any other committee reports. Let's go to the borough president's report. Let's go to the legislature. Report, borough president, yeah. You're here, Lisa, yeah, Lisa's here. All right, welcome her, please, Lisa Atkins. Been in the community many, many years, in borough president's office many years. There you go. Okay.
Long evening, but good evening, everyone. How are all my friends and neighbors from Community Board 3? So great to see you all. I don't get to come and address the board very often, and I know my time, so I will be brief. But we have a lot to discuss. Moving into the new year, community board applications will be accepted starting in January. I don't have the exact date, but you can check the website for those of you who have friends and neighbors who are also vested, interested, and enthusiastic about supporting our community the way that you have. And thank you all for your hard, long work, especially on nights like tonight when I know that you, as many, would want to be home and warm. But you're doing a good job fighting the good fight, so we appreciate you. I'd also like to remind you that the, oh, there we go, that the budget season is opening at the beginning of the year. Yay! So with that, starting in January, the applications for budget requests will be posted to our website. They are electronic. For those of you who qualify for the organizations that you also represent, not that you have time to do other things, but I know many of you are so interested and you do participate in other events. So please be mindful. The dates are very specific under the controller's rules, and get them in early. Our staff is there waiting to review if you have any questions, so we can move into that. And moving forward, the budget's very important to us every year, but this year particularly because things are what they are. So I thank you for that. And so moving on to some of the fun things that are going on. Let's see, we'll start with next week on, I'm sorry, I'm jumping ahead of myself. So the Kwanzaa event, the annual Kwanzaa event will be held on the 28th at 6 p.m. at the Helen Marshall Center. All are welcome. We are posted the information. The community board also has it as well. Please come out and reach out to everyone that would like to come and celebrate with us. We have a wonderful event every year, and this one will be exceptional as well. But I do not want to, I'd be remiss if I did not remind you all, for those of you who know of or have high school students who are seniors that will be graduating and moving on to further their education, the scholarship award has been posted. So if they would like to apply, it is on our website. The applications close on February 3rd of 2023 at 5 p.m. sharp. I encourage them all. The applicants have received in excess of $1,000 per scholarship. So by all means, reach out. This is the African American Heritage Committee's award. And with that, on behalf of Queensborough President Donovan Richards and myself, neighbor and friend, I want to wish everyone a wonderful, warm, and healthy, happy holiday season. And I look forward to working with you next year.
Thank you, Ms. Atkins. Michelle, AOC's office, please. Lily, you're gonna be next, please, out of Mr. Aubrey's office.
Oh, yes, okay. Good evening, everyone. My name is Michelle. So last month, the Congresswoman joined a teletown hall for seniors in the district organized by AARP. She addressed the lower prescription drug prices and reduced out-of-pocket expenses for Medicare Part D recipients made possible by the Inflation Reduction Act. She also spoke on resources available to seniors, and if you would like to view the recording, it can be found on the AARP Facebook page. The federal student loan repayment pause has been extended to June 30, 2023 to allow for the Supreme Court to rule in the case before them. Payments will resume 60 days after the pause. As a reminder, last month we announced the closing of our Queens district office located in Jackson Heights at the end of this term because our Jackson Heights office was drawn out of New York's 14th congressional district during redistricting this year. We are planning to take over Representative Bowman's office in Co-op City beginning in January. We will continue to offer remote casework assistance for all our constituents as well. And for those of you who are not going to be in our district next year and you want to get casework started, we can help connect you with either of our senators so that you don't have to wait for your new representative. A lot of the time it can take up to a month to resolve cases. And we will be sharing additional office locations as soon as those agreements are finalized. Thank you so much and happy holidays, everybody.
I love you too, Frank. Good evening to everyone. On behalf of Assemblyman Aubrey and my staff up at the office, we'd like to wish everyone a Merry Christmas, a Happy Hanukkah, a Happy Kwanzaa, and a wonderful New Year. Look forward to working with you guys next year. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Right. Yes, ma'am. Councilman Shaker's office. She's the last one. There's food outside, but we give the people respect and then, hit our thing.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. My name is Waylai Rice. I'm the district director for City Council Member Shekhar Krishna's office. It's good to see everyone here tonight. And I'll say this first, happy holidays, happy new year. So just a few quick announcements. We have a holiday lighting event this Saturday on Diversity Plaza from 5 to 7 p.m. There will be some performances and also holiday cheers in general. And then on January 5th, our office is partnered with Asian American for Equality. We have a 3 Kings Day event at the Blessed Sacrament Church. That's from 2 to 6 p.m. And then also we have another small business resource fair coming up, and we just finalizing the information. So follow us on the social media or subscribe to the newsletter for more information. That's in January. And the last one is our office is the first time participating in the participatory budgeting process for the city council. So this is already ongoing, and we'll have a great group of budget delegates, aka volunteers from the community. And we have a lot of budget proposal that's gonna come up for vote in the spring, so in March and April, and that's for everyone. Everyone can vote. So we'll share more information. Thanks so much and happy holidays.
Thank you. Happy holidays to you. We're gonna end up now. I don't want to be remiss in saying this. There is no eating inside the sanctuary, no drinking inside the sanctuary, okay? Please. Also, tomorrow we have our giveaway. Please give the board, Renetta, Lisa, everybody on deck who can be there 11:30. Let's make it a great event as we always do. All right, no commissioners plan. Okay, no more old business. That's the new business. Listen, happy holidays, Kwanzaa, Christmas, Hanukkah. Please be safe. See you next year. Motion to adjourn. Second. All in favor? All right, we'll take that. Thank you, guys. Thank you as always. And congratulations to our 30 and 20 year members. Great job, guys. Great job.